Hello everyone, welcome to this tutorial where I show you how to make this flower that I used on the bottom row of my latest spring sweater. I will show you the graph as well and explain along the way how to read these types of graphs. These crochet graphs are used mostly for granny squares, Afghan flowers or other type of motifs that start from the middle, but they can also be used for flat row patterns. This motif is one that starts from the middle. You start with a magic ring. I'm showing the creation of it on the screen, but if you've never made a magic ring before and the movements here aren't super clear, I would recommend looking up another YouTube tutorial about it. Basically, you create a cross and go under the upper right string and over the upper left one. Put your hook on this one and take it under, turn it around like so, and then you finish by hooking one more time the upper left string and pulling it through. Once you have made this magic ring, look for the chain stitches from the pattern. Usually it's the one part that is slightly different from the rest. Make 2 chains and create 11 double crochet stitches in this magic ring. Start with the 2 chains, next a double crochet, another one, and continue so on until you have made 11 double crochets. You can always tug a bit on the end of the magic ring to make it tighter. This makes it easier to put in the double crochets. I did not speed up any part of this video or slow down. I also did not make any cuts. If you see cuts, it's mostly because I had some trouble with the center pull of the yarn that was just resisting a bit more, but you will see every single stitch I make. If you want to slow down certain parts or speed certain parts up, you can use the feature in YouTube. Now I will also put down the timestamps in the description so you can follow along for each different row or each different color. Once you finish the 11th double crochet, the graph will tell you to add a slip stitch to finish off this row and close it. This is also the last part in this color. You can tug on the end of the magic ring to fully close the circle in the middle, or you could leave a small gap in the middle of the flower. It's how you choose. The next instruction is a little triangle telling you to fasten off. So as you can see, we have finished the middle part in white. You can pull out the yarn and cut it off, leaving a loose end. The next color will be light blue. You attach this yarn where the open triangle is situated on the graph. And next you start with 2 chain stitches. Create a double crochet in the same stitch. Make a chain. Create another double crochet in the same stitch. Another double crochet. Then add a double crochet while skipping a stitch in the row below. Add another double crochet in the same stitch. Create a chain and keep repeating this pattern for the rest of the row. When you arrive at the end, close the row with a slip stitch, just like we did in the previous row. For the beginning of the next row, there are no chains to be made, but this little arc shows you that you will start the stitch at your last stitch, so after the slip stitch, and you will go into the chain space of this previous row by making a double crochet. For this row, you will need to make 6 double crochets, 1 slip stitch, 6 double crochets again, another slip stitch, and so forth until the end of the row. It is important to look at the graph and see where these stitches should be placed, so all the double crochets go into the chain spaces of the previous row, and the slip stitch will be between the second and the third bar between the 2 chains of the previous row, and it will also be aligned with the skipped stitch from the first row. When you arrive at the end of the last 6 double crochets, finish with a slip stitch in the first slip stitch of this row. With this, the light blue color is now finished. The triangle shows you to fasten off again, so the same way you tug on the loop still on your hook, and you can cut this part off. Just for reference, I am showing you here what it should look like from the front, and this is what it looks like from the back. You still have all the loose ends that we will weave in later. This is already looking super cute, so you could stop here, but I will go further with the dark blue color as shown in the graph. Attach the yarn where the triangle points in the graph and pull it tightly. Start by making a single crochet in the next stitch, another single crochet. Keep going until you arrive at the chain stitch or after you have finished 5 single crochets. The graph here shows a single crochet, but one leg is clearly elongated. This means that you have to place the stitch much lower in the first light blue row, as I show you here. Pull up the loop a bit higher and finish this elongated single crochet as usual. You can pull and shuffle a bit until the stitch appears okay for you. Continue the next petal by creating another 5 standard single crochets. Here you see me pulling the elongated single crochet a bit to make it fit better. Let's show you once more. You go all the way down under the light blue color, pull up a loop and finish your single crochet as usual. Here you can see the effect of these longer single crochets. They create the separation of the petals. Continue doing the same thing for the rest of the petals. You finish with a last elongated single crochet. And then add a slip stitch to close the round. You are now finished and can fasten off. Pull on the yarn and cut it off, leaving a tail. Ta-da! There you have it. All that's left to do is weave in the ends. For this, take a darning needle and start weaving in the ends in the according color sections. You don't want the flower to entangle at any point, so preferably you go hands and forth a few times. I weaved in all the ends except the first one from the magic ring. It is really important to weave this one in tightly to make sure the flower won't be getting a hole on the inside after time. Also cut this last one off and you're finished. For me, this was the last flower missing to finish the flower row of my latest spring sweater. I hope you have enjoyed this video and learned something from it, and here are some ending clips of me wearing the sweater. See you next time. Bye!